So today we're going to talk about Aestred Thurga by Danie Ware. This is a Warhammer 40k novel that deals with the sororitas. In this case, particular case, a branch within the sororitas, not a militant one, like the normal that Danie Ware writes, but in this case it's the relinquent at arms, which basically they are the retrievers of of relics and deposit on places dedicated to them. In the beginning, we are introduced to the sword of Saharim, which is a sword that a man called Saharim killed like a plague stuff. And so basically they die, and so Aestred is ruled that she must find it and retrieve that sword. And that part we are not introduced that much. We are just being told that this is happening, or very shortly, and so we go to the retrieval itself. So the retrieval itself, it's done, and again we are not in part involved in that part. It's like a chapter or so, and they go back to a planet, the planet Katera, which is a planet where they dedicated to the death and something like that. So people go there to die. There's like huge stuff for people to where to die. They have a lot of relics and a lot of stuff there. So it's a planet dedicated to that part, necropolis. It's called the necropolis world. Um, and so as they are putting the sword to rest, I would say, there is an incursion from there is a cult of the plague god again, because it's like the initial that I talked about, the sword of sun. And so one of these cultists retrieves the sword and steals the sword. As they try to recapture the sword, they cannot. And as they are plagued, I mean, they are surrounded by zombies and plague stuff. And so they go back to the governor saying, okay, you have a plague zombie on your hands, so we have to contain this. And we see there Aestred as she basically takes over the situation, because the initial imperial stuff, the imperial government doesn't really care, but he has to do what she said, and so they did. Like 50% of the book, it's the going from one place to the other. Basically, Aestred wants to retrieve the sword. Other sororitas don't have that visibility, view. They want to save the planet, or save at least the imperial people. But Aestred, I mean, again, I don't want to use the word, but it's the word that I'm going to say. It's plagued by by her loss, because she feels responsible for the loss. She says, okay, no, but we are going to task for retrieving this. And there are some back and forth about this, the two, I don't want to factions, but the two sororita groups, the ones that want to retrieve and the ones that don't want to retrieve. They want to help people, the imperial planet. But here Aestred says, okay, but if we do that, this will help the planet itself. Fortunately, this book, as the memes say, could have been an email. I don't say an email, but I say a novella or short story. I mean, it was interesting to see this type of action within the sororitas. It was fine to see this, the infighting. I mean, they don't ever come to blows, but the infighting mentality of persons within the same structure. It's very interesting to see that. I really enjoyed. I believe the ending was okay, but feels like, I mean, I didn't enjoy as much, because I thought that this book was going somewhere and it went another. But again, I didn't knew that this character is a miniature in Warhammer 40k. If it is, I knew I would have removed my idea from, because I thought that she was going somewhere, and with that miniature I knew that that could not happen. And so yeah, I'm glad I didn't knew about the miniature, because it made me feel. So that's why I understand the ratings in Goodreads. They are not good. They are, well, frankly bad. Less than 4, less than 3 almost. And I can understand that. In good conscience, I cannot give this book a good rating because there is not that much in there. It's what we call the porn, bolt porn, because it's fight, 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 go from one place to the other, retrieve X, go, retrieve apps, and so on. And for a book of 200 pages, it's a bit low. And I would have hoped, like the ending, that conversation between Aestred and the other sororitas, and mainly with the bad guy, or baddest guy, baddest woman, I would have loved to see more of that. But it's a good book. I mean, if you enjoy bang bang military sci-fi, more on the military, I would say that you love this. If you feel what I found about incest punk, you know, like this book here, incest punk, I am going to say that you're going to enjoy this, because these sororitas are perfect embodiment of crusaders, women crusaders, and you can almost feel the religious part there. And it's not critical. I've never seen that Danie Ware was critical about the religion itself. The religion, I mean, the emperor religion, not the Christianity, because this is not Christianity. You can infer that it's that, because there are some phrases like deliver us and like the God Emperor protects and so on. So everything like this is very based on Christianity. But I've never seen them criticize of that, of faith, of anything like that. I'm overly confident that you enjoy this book if you like enjoy this kind of niche within the military sci-fi, in sense. Well, niche within the sci-fi, not military. Although much are military, not all of them have to go. So yes, if you enjoy action scenes, you enjoy this book. If you enjoy sororitas, but a new type of sororitas, in this case, not like the Ebon Callis and I don't know the names Rose something and so on, but this case a non-military order, I believe you enjoy this one. Aestred is a good character. I don't think that she is the best character of this book. I believe the best character, without any shadow of a doubt, it's Agatha Dolan, which is like an Asterian that follows her and follows the history of the world, the relics and so on. I believe that part was the main focus that I felt more invested, and I learned that she is also a character within the minis of Aestred. She's there, like support. So I can understand that. She's like a mentor, but as all mentors say, I can teach you, but you have your own ideas, you know. So yes, I will say that this book is good. I would advise them to read. It's a short book of 200, less than 200 pages, 197. I believe it's a bit long, to be fair, but if you enjoy the other books that on the series, like Uron Blackheart, Leontos, the Orc ones, the Eldar ones, and so on, I would say not Eldar, the Elrich, and so on. I would say that you will enjoy this one as well. I have no doubts, because it's the same format. It's focus on the character. They are selling this character, and so they are making a book about this character. So, but don't expect like curveballs, because you can't, because there is a character. So you can't kill her, turn into chaos or something like that. Yeah. So everything else works perfectly. I would say this. It's a nice 3.5 out of 5 to me. Thank you and have a great day.